Everybody, can you hear me, everybody? Okay. So thank you for that, Shreya. Thank you for inviting me here. The change that disrupts your business model may not come from your business. And this leaves us with a profound challenge today as leaders, as managers. And the challenge is this. In many ways, we are at an inflection point where the rate of change is so dramatic. If you were to go back in time 65 million years ago and ask the dinosaur, Mr. Dinosaur, Mr. Dinosaur, what's the secret of your success? A dinosaur would, of course, say Lux Beauty Soap of the Stars. That's the first answer. That was a joke. But after that, it would say size, strength, speed, sharp teeth, sharp claws. And yet, when that meteorite hit the Yucatan Peninsula, they went extinct. The core learning from Charles Darwin is, in times of great change, it's not the strongest who survive. It's not the most intelligent to survive. The ones who survive are the ones who are most adaptable to change. Our job as leaders is to prepare our organizations for change. That's our fundamental task. Now, how do you know? You have to prepare, great. So how do you know what change is coming your way? How do you know what's out there? Well, to make life a little easier for you, I've written a book about it. It's sitting over there. You can have a copy when you leave. And if you're, if you ask me nicely, I might just sign it as well. But seriously, there are two big sources of disruptions. The obvious one is technology. Everybody talks about it. Elon Musk and Silicon Valley and Vyntelligence. And that's the obvious one. Yeah, it's there. The less obvious one, which is actually happening under our noses, kind of by stealth, is societal changes. Aging. From a society of a few old people and many young people, now societies are inverted. Do you know 1 in every 4 Japanese is above the age of 65, older than me, which is pretty awesome, but 1 in every 4, yeah? And not just Japan, you know China, do you know what percentage of China is above the age of 60? 1 in every 4 Chinese is above the age of 60. Why do you think that economy is tanking now big time? They don't have young people there anymore. Young people, very sadly, they drive the economy. Where are the young people? But they drive the economy. So, societal changes, urbanization, the world is we always used to be an agrarian species, now we're an urban species. 1 in every 2 human beings across the world now lives in a city. Institutions are crumbling big time. Yuval Noah Harari writes about this. Whether it's institution of religion, institution of marriage, every single institution is being unmade and remade under our nose. These are changes happening under our nose. Our societal behaviors. All of us have multiple personas. One persona that's online, that is physical. One persona that's online, yeah, and how you appear. So dramatic change is happening. So how do you respond to this as leaders? What can you do? And the interesting thing here is, as part of preparing the organization for change, our biggest task is, as leaders, managing contradictions. How to take 2 diametrically different thoughts and kind of juggle them both and fulfill both of them at the same time. So, for example, how do you define your value space? I'm okay on time, right? Yeah. I'm being very careful.
Just the Apple Watch notification.
I know. So, for example, how do you manage your value space? How do you define your value space? Disruption always starts as a niche. So when a niche happens, as an incumbent, do you ignore it? Do you encompass it? Do you respond to it? And there are tensions here inherent. For example, there's actually never been a better time to be an insurgent than today. And there has never been a more dangerous time to be an incumbent than today, because incumbents find this very difficult to dance with the speed with which insurgents dance, right? And that's a different rhythm entirely. If you don't dance, you're a dinosaur. So the challenge, the challenge between, do you respond when that disruption happens? Is it better to be the disruptor that disrupts other people, or is it better to wait somebody else succeed and then you buy that person because you have deep pockets? It's a valid challenge. Is it better, should you respond to the disruption as if it's a threat, or should you respond to it as if it's an opportunity? Do you focus on running your core business, or do you focus on grabbing the opportunity and being an insurgent. How do you balance this tension? And if you want to play both games at the same time, how do you create an organizational culture that will allow you to play two different games? The reward system. And more than the culture, how do you train people to play different games? How do you develop people who can play this game and that, because they're different games? So, welcome to the brave new world. You're all change makers. We are living in an era of change. And I hope this little talk was on time and kind of brought to life the paradigms that we need to deal with. There's more in the book. Okay?